What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Grind channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about a layer 1 that is bringing Web 3 to Web 2 and not taking Web 2 into Web 3 as most other blockchains. So that's something very interesting. If that's something that interests you, please stick around, watch the video all the way to the end. Also, make sure you are liking, subscribing, and commenting down below if you think that this coin is going to go places. What are we talking about? Talking about Saito. Like I said, a very interesting layer 1 with some pretty big potential for the future and seriously underlooked at the moment. Basically, what Saito is a peer-to-peer blockchain. And what that means is that the apps that you download and are developed on the blockchain connect directly to nodes and not through another third party, which is something that we don't see very often, and it definitely helps with scalability, an issue that a lot of layer 1s, especially the older tech like Bitcoin and like Ethereum, generally suffer from quite severely. And it's one reason why a lot of new layer 1s coming through are tackling the blockchain trilemma, something that your Bitcoin and your Ethereum generally struggle with. Although Ethereum 2.0 is trying to tackle that, I think that they've got some seriously stiff competition with something like Saito. If we have a look here at Saito's website, what is Saito? We did say that they are peer-to-peer, so the chain provides distributed infrastructure that removes the reliance on centralized providers. Developers can use Saito to distribute and run their apps while users keep full control of their data. This is something that is very important. You hold on to your data. It doesn't sit on a cloud like it would with other blockchains, AWS, for example, and Google Cloud are more common ones that are used by developers, and your data sits there. But here, your data is all your own. If you want to actually have a bit more understanding about how it works, we can take a look here. They've got some pretty good animations on their website that describes it. This over here is your traditional blockchain. So you've got your user over here that connects to a third party that hosts everything that the blockchain has. So not only that, apps are dependent on third party infrastructure. So obviously if that infrastructure fails, then the whole chain can go down. Data nodes that provide access to the blockchain do not get paid by the network. So this is something that's very important. People aren't incentivized to host nodes on the network. More nodes mean more speed. It can also mean more security because it's more distributed, meaning it's more decentralized and less chance that your data is going to be exposed to the wider world. And here, obviously, only validators will be paid for, and miners in a proof of work will be paid for their hosting services. If we have a look at Saito, for example, you can see that this whole middleman solution here has actually been removed completely. And apps run locally on your devices, so it would be the same way that you would download an app from the Play Store or something on your PC, and then your apps communicate directly with the blockchain. And the Saito consensus rewards nodes with more fees when they provide a better service. And also how it works is the more they provide, the more the node gets paid. So the more security they provide, the more infrastructure they're providing and so on, the more they get rewarded by the network for this. There's no need for third-party infrastructure because chain nodes are incentivized to provide the infrastructure themselves and attracts more users and transaction fees. So that's just what we're talking about, is that they are incentivized to do more. The chain also, the nodes that provide access to the network get paid through the routing work mechanism, and they also do still reward miners and stakers, but they are rewarded slightly differently and in a slightly different proportion as well, where you would actually have more incentive to host a node than just to simply mine a network as you would. Regulars to the channel will know that one thing I like to do when I have a look at a new project is to evaluate the team, have a look at who they are, do they know what they're doing, what their background is, what their experience is, to make sure that they understand and have the expertise to take a crypto project all the way to the finish line and make it the best that it possibly can be. Having a look at the Saito team, their founder is a guy called David Lancashire, and he's an experienced startup founder and Berkeley grad and former CTO with success in multiple business to consumer companies, active in mainland China crypto scene since 2012, so he really understands crypto. He's been there since the birth pretty much of mainstream crypto, and involvement in early Bitcoin debates, and it gave rise to Saito because he obviously understood the need for a better layer 1 than what Bitcoin and its now main competitor Ethereum were providing at the time. The core team themselves, they've got some pretty experienced people we can see here. They really know what they're doing. They've got some advisors who are also well known in the crypto community space. So all in all, I think this is another tick when it comes to the Saito coin. Their team knows what they're doing. They understand what they're doing. They're experienced. So that gets another tick from me. Looking at the tokenomics, I think it's a pretty low price at the moment, something that's definitely worth looking at. The volume has picked up in the last few days, which again, something that you really like to see. People are talking about this coin more and more, and it's something that's not going to be a hidden gem for much longer. The overall supply is 10 billion coins, so it seems like a lot, but when you think about this price right now, and the possibility that it's going to be competing with your likes of ADA. Now remember, ADA has got to a point where its market cap was 40 billion. So that would take this to a $4 market cap. It doesn't, so it's not beyond the the realms of imagination that we could see this happen if everything goes well with Saito. They have a lot to prove before we can see it going that high. But even then, even if it goes from here to $1, you've done really well. You've got 100x on your money if it goes just to $1, close to 100x. So, you've got some serious potential. 100x is there, maybe even more. They do have a lot to do, but I do think that there is massive promise when it comes to the Saito coin itself. Markets, there are not too many places to get this coin at the moment. I do think that they are working on listings for major exchanges like your Binance's, your Kraken, KuCoin, and so on. But at the moment, you can get it on Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Gate.io is probably the more common one there where you would go and get it as well. So they are readily available, but once they drop on the bigger exchanges, that's when you're going to see some serious price action for the coin. Taking a look at some of the other interesting aspects of the tokenomics, most of the coins are ERC20 or BEP20. So obviously you've got your Ethereum and your Binance chain. If we have a look at how coins have been distributed, token supply may be made available to community-controlled foundation, which would be about 20% of the token itself. So that's really pulling it away and obviously creating less of a centralized coin, making it more difficult to manipulate the price of a coin. And also a software fund as well to encourage devs. It's the main thing that's going to keep any layer one going are devs and really well-used applications. So then we can also see then another 10% earmarked to provide liquidity to strategic partners who bring use cases to the network. So they are looking for utility to encourage people to use the coin. The more people using the coin, the higher the value is going to go up. They have also earmarked 10% of the coins to make use to advertise. It's where a lot of your layer ones do sort of fail right in the beginning, is they don't actually advertise enough. And there have been some that I've covered on this channel that aren't really marketing themselves, and that's where they generally fall behind. It's another place where Saito has seen that there is potentially a weakness, and they're obviously going to focus on that and make sure they are pushing themselves out there, getting themselves known. Jumping onto their socials, you can see they've got a fairly big following, 42,000. They have been going for a while, but they are growing quite rapidly now. Every time I come onto this channel, I do see that there are more and more followers, so more and more people are finding out about this. You can see that they are quite active. Last active 7 hours ago, and if you have a look at some of their other posts, they are very active, keeping the community up to date with what they are doing. Really, really something that I like to see as well. So overall, my thoughts on Saito. I think it ticks all the boxes. It brings utility. It gives you good tokenomics, and it has a solid team behind it as well. So 3 out of 3 for me, a definite must buy in my feeling. I don't think I'll be picking up just yet. I do think that the price is going to possibly drop a little bit lower. But again, do your own research. If you think that this is the coin for you, I've shown you where you can go ahead and get it. Comment down below if you are going to be picking up some Saito. Let me know if you're already a holder and how you feel about this coin, where you see this coin going in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.